Fast, yes. Furious, certainly. And they were driving cars. Hi all, it's Steph, and I've just seen Fast and Furious 8, or Fate of the Furious. Get it? Fate, like F8, Fate. Well, I certainly enjoyed the play on words. Once again, we join the Toretto family for another installment in this franchise. Is 8 too many? Maybe. And apparently we're getting another 2, but let's just focus on this one. Dominic Toretto, Vin Diesel himself, has gone rogue, as we've seen in the trailers. Turning against his family is something that is so out of character. Family is something that has just been engraved into these film franchises since the very, very first one. So the fact that he's gone rogue is such a shock, and it really does just set up the entire plotline. So the film was always going to be of interest as soon as we saw that that was going to be a thing. As for the motivation for going rogue, I personally thought, well, I thought it was going to be something different than what it was, but I'm not going to go into spoilers or anything like that. But I thought the motivation was okay. I thought it could have been stronger. But it does make sense. I mean, there's not an awful lot that Dominic Toretto would turn on his family and his wife. And we have our family back again, the family that we know and we love since the very first film. They're absolutely brilliant and the heart is still there. They work so well together, there's jokes, there's banter, it seems like a family, like a group of friends, like a group of people who have known each other forever. Ramsey is with us again from Fast 7 and I think she is a brilliant addition to the team. And of course we have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson back again, big and buff as he always is. And he's just so brilliant in this role, and especially teamed up with Jason Statham, who is just incredible. I love some Jason Statham, and I think they work really well off each other as well. Going from their main antagonist in the previous films to being part of the team on this one was such an interesting shift for this character. I adore Jason Statham, and he seemed to fit in right at home here in another action film. I've watched a lot of his films and he's never let me down, from, you know, Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, The Transporter, and The Expendables. Action is something he does really, really well, and it certainly showed in this film. Because we've been spoilt and we've been ruined by the John Wick franchise and their incredible choreography. When I was watching the fight scenes during Fast 8, I was just all like, why is it so cutty? Why is it so choppy? Why are you using so much shaky cam? Why can't you just take the time, do it properly, learn the choreo, and just set it up beautifully? But again, we've been spoilt by John Wick. We shouldn't have to expect it from every film, right? But maybe they can just try and spend a bit more time so it doesn't look so cutty and shaky. But thankfully Jason Statham's scenes were a little bit more calm because we know that he's into action and he's done a lot of fighting scenes in the past, so he knows what he's doing. And there is a particular scene that involves Jason Statham and a plane. Not going to go into spoilers, but it was really, really good. Family has always been the main theme of the Fast franchise. And building these characters up, building them together, so when it comes to a villain of the movie, the franchise doesn't really hold itself. And I think it's the same for this villain here. She doesn't really have her own motivation. And I mean, maybe you disagree with me, but I didn't really see what she was doing it for. Other than, she's a villain, this is what she does, it's a movie. And I really like my villains built up with their own motivations and how you can actually see why they're doing what they're doing. But this film isn't about villains, it's about the family. And this is what it focuses on so well. We also see a little bit more of another family during this film, the Shaw family. So we knew that Dame Judi Dench was going to be in this film as Mama Shaw, and the interaction between Jason Statham and Dame Judi Dench was just so much fun, and I really hope that there's going to be some focus in the last two movies based on that family there. So just a few other things, they seem to have all gone to the Prometheus school of running away from things. If something is chasing you, you don't just continue running forward, you go in another direction. But it just seems to be a thing that movies do, that it just builds up so much tension if they're just running away from something in a straight line and then that person's following them, because, you know, that certainly makes sense, because I'm just going to continue running in a straight line if something's chasing me, whereas, you know, you could just veer off to the side and then that would be that, but that doesn't make for a good film, does it? And this film certainly knows its target audience, because it wouldn't be a fast film without some scantily clad women near the start of the film. And I'm not complaining, I'm just commenting on the fact that it's there, and I suppose it's good marketing because, you know, who doesn't love scantily clad women? And we did have some location text. Was it necessary? Probably not, but it did actually look really, really good, unlike, you know, the ones from Civil War, which was just in your face. At least this one was done really well. And finally, how should you watch this film? And I think you know what I'm going to say, because I say it every single time I do a movie review, and I think we should say it together. Yeah? IMAX. You should watch this film in IMAX. And I'll never not say see a film in IMAX if it's in IMAX, because it is incredible with the surround sound and the crystal clear imaging. You know, I wish that I could say that this was a spawn. It's not. I just really love IMAX. So this film has its own IMAX opening, which not an awful lot of films get. So if you do have a chance to get in there slightly early so that you can see the IMAX opening, I really do suggest that you do. So yeah, this film's not really necessary, but neither are most of the clothes that I buy. I buy them because I like them. And it goes for this film as well. I will always go and watch a Fast and Furious movie because I enjoy them. They're a lot of fun, and this film is no different. A fun film with some cars that has a lot of heart. But there's not really an awful lot that I can say about this, other than stay nerdy.